if you're looking for some safety so you don't feel like you're going to fall, you feel more comfortable in 2022, if you're looking to just improve your strength, your flexibility overall, or if you're just looking to feel comfortable in your body in general, hello, you're in the right place. What's up, everybody? This is Coach Marcus McDuffie. I'm the owner of Aion Training. We are Pasadena's only fitness studio designed specifically for people 40 plus, right? Which means that we can kind of understand what you're going through in life, kind of how your body works, how you should be eating, and it's going to be a lot different than what some 19 or 20-year-olds should be doing, right? And a lot of gyms, because they focus on everybody, they just don't understand that. So here at Aion, you're understood. So basically, I'm here today with my friends and Aion members, Peggy and Mike. Hi, Mike and Peggy. Go ahead, you can just say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, they got these beautiful Aion breast cancer awareness shirts on. Did I pay them? Not yet. We'll give them $50 under the table after. All right, so we'll kind of hop into everything. Basically, we were talking to Homestead for a while, and we kind of we're going back and forth on what's the most important thing that we should really cover with our talk. How can we help out the most people? And right away, it went straight to fall prevention, right? If we look at it, falls are going to be one of the biggest risks for people 65 plus. Even bigger than that, 1 in 5 falls is going to result in a major injury. And I don't say this at all to scare you, but a fall is what ultimately led to my grandfather's death, right? So I feel very passionately about these things, and that's why I'm extremely happy and blessed to be able to come to Homestead and kind of help out you all here today, right? So the problem as well is in the last 2 years of being inside with COVID, there's been a lot less movement. You're probably going up and down stairs less often. You're walking around less often. And because of that, a lot of your muscles are probably weaker than ever, right? So today we're going to show you a couple exercises where you can feel strong, you can build some of that strength back, and just start to feel confident and independent once again, right? And also, if we look at it, Peggy actually is an excellent person to have here today because in 2019, Peggy actually did fall, right? And she ended up having to have a hip surgery for it, which she recovered from pretty quickly. And one of the main factors for that was just that she was in shape before, right? That's why it's so important to make sure that you're taking care of your body, you're building those muscles, because hey, if something was to happen, we want to make sure that you're safe, you're able to recover, you're able to fully enjoy and live life the whole way through. So we will hop now into the fall prevention things. I know I've been talking a lot about this stuff, so we'll kind of actually hop into it. So we're going to look at, first is the 3 big muscle groups that usually in people 65 plus, they really are super weak. They're not worth that much. So we're going to show you today how to work those ones. With the first ones being the glutes, right? You can't walk around here with a weak butt and be healthy. Mike and Peggy actually have 2 of the strongest butts in Pasadena. It's 100% true. We tested it. It's all right. All right. So the second one is going to be the outer hip. Right, so there's a lot of muscles in the outer hip that kind of help stabilize not only your hips, but they help prevent lower back pain, and they're big time important for making sure we're keeping our knees healthy as we're going through everything. And the last one is going to be just the quads directly. So the quads do a lot of work on, like I said before, stabilizing that knee, but also when you go to catch or step, right, your quads are activated big time to make sure that your knee is able to stay stable on every single step. So let's say that you were to trip or whatever else, hey, if you're building up those quads and you're keeping it strong, you have a higher chance of being able to step and catch yourself from there. So first thing, I think it's always most important to start here is with an assessment. How do I know where I'm at? How do I know if I really do need to be focusing on this or not? So if you're someone watching this who wants to go through it yourself, or if you are just someone that's helping out or taking care of someone else, here's going to be 3 quick exercises that you can do that'll kind of help you make sure that, or just kind of see where you or whoever you're helping out, where they're at right now. So the first one is going to be the sit to stand test, right? So basically what a sit to stand is we'll have you to come back here, is we're going to have you choose a chair or bench, whatever else it may be, that sits just right up below your knees. And what we want to see we can do, you can put 60 seconds on the clock. We won't have to do a whole 60 seconds. They actually just did a workout, so I have a heart. So we're going to keep it a little bit easier on them today. But we're going to see if they can do 10 or if you can do 10 sit to stands in 60 seconds, right? So basically what a sit to stand is, Mike and Peggy, go ahead, is that we're just sitting down in that bench or that chair or whatever it is, and we're just standing back up, right? So we're sitting down, we're standing back up. So we'll just have to do a couple of them. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but we're just working on and saying, hey, what's my ability to really use my quads, to use my glutes, to be able to create that position right there. So that's gonna be your first test that you can kind of do at home. 10 sits to stands in 60 seconds, right? The second one is gonna be, hey, can they get off the floor in less than 20 seconds, right? So Peggy, we'll have you go ahead and rock this one out. So we're just gonna kind of see, this is always like a big time goal for a lot of our people who just started up. And they're just like, hey Marcus, I just want to be able to get up off the floor easily, right? Like I'm playing with my grandkids or whoever else, and I just want to be able to get off the floor easy and move easily, right? So we're going to put a timer once again. We're going to see, hey, can we get off the floor in less than 20 seconds? So Peggy's going to go straight from the ground, and I'll just say, all right, Peggy, click, click. And we just put the 20 seconds, and Peggy will just try to get up. Peggy has been absolutely killing it, so it's going to take her like a second to stand up. Yeah, I told her she looked like, before we started filming, I said she looked like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, right? So damn graceful. So we're just gonna do that as our second test, right? So the first one is 60 seconds, 10 sits to stands. The second one is gonna be 20 seconds. Can they get off the floor in less than 20 seconds? And the last one, we'll have both of you all do it, is just the toe touch. Right, so on this one, we're kind of seeing what's our flexibility in our lower back and our hamstrings. So all we're kind of looking for is, hey, can I get halfway down my shin and then back up from there, right? So how that would kind of look is, Mike, Peggy will have you two go ahead and do it. So we're just going pretty much straight leg on it. We'll have you two rock over and get down again. So like I said, you know, they could probably kiss the floor at this point. It wasn't always like that, right? But as big on everything, right? We're just trying to make sure that, hey, that's another one of the tests. Am I able to adequately, use hamstring and hip mobility to get through it, right? So after you do those tests, just kind of check to see where you are. If you weren't able to do any of those tests, don't worry about it, completely fine. There are ways to improve that. And wow, I think that's why we're here today. We're going to show you all how to improve that, right? So we're going to show you 4 easy exercises that you can just use with things at home, or if you have a little bit of equipment, you really don't need too much to really get strong, really get confident in your body. So the first one is going to be just those sit to stands again, right? So like I said, what we're going to kind of go for is, Mike will just have you go with me here. We're really just looking for them to push through the front of their feet, right? So we want to see that full foot on the ground, my toes and my heels, and we're sitting to that bench and we're trying to get up. Right now, that's a little tough for you and you can't do those sit to stands. The other alternative you can have is we can just have you do like a mini squat hold, right? So let's drop into a small squat. If you actually go to the bench, you can just hold right above the bench. Yeah, like right there. And then what you can do on this one is you can kind of play around, right? As you get stronger, you can get down a little lower. If it's tough for you at the beginning, we can just have you come up and just do a slight little knee bend like that. And the easy thing is too, is when you get tired, you can just sit down. Yeah, and then you're good to go for that one. All right, so that's gonna be your first one, is either doing the sit to stands or just doing a nice little squat hold. That's gonna be big time for helping you build up strength in those quads. Yeah, her legs are kind of burning right now. I'm thinking, how you doing? Right, so that's gonna be your first one. What I would advise is you start off somewhere about like 1 round of just 5 to 10 of those, right? 5 to 10 of those sit to stands. You're doing the squat hold, trying to go for 1 round once again of just 20 to 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be this huge thing where you're getting started off. You just need to start so we can start making you feel safe and healthy. Second one is we're gonna do what's called pickups, right? Pickups or RDLs. You could put this ball over here. So for the second one, what we're doing is we're building strength in those glutes and building some mobility in my hamstrings. So what you're gonna do is you can just take a ball, you can take anything with a little bit of weight behind it, and we wanna make sure we're super slow controlled through this whole movement. We're gonna get a slight little bend in my knees, and I'm gonna bend over through my hips, pick up whatever it is, bring it back up, you can just drop it. If it's like a glass vase, please don't drop it. I want you not to cut up your feet. But besides that, if it's just like something like a ball or something like this, feel free to just drop it, right? So what we'll kind of do is for here, what we're looking for is we're going to get a slight little bend in our knees from here. I'm going to have them bend over from the hips, right? So we're thinking bend from those hips, not from my lower back, and he's coming back up and driving through his butt. So let's see one more of those, Mike. Yeah, so we're going slight little bend in those knees. He's bending from the hip. He's coming back up. Yeah, and he's driving through that butt on the way through, right? So those are called RDLs or just pickups. For that one, like I said, big time, I'm adding a bunch of strength in my hamstrings and in my buttocks, right? So third one, we're gonna get some ab work in here now, and we're gonna do what's called leg lifts with a wall support, right? So we'll have both of you come over here behind these benches. Move this back all the way some. Okay, and what we're gonna have them do here is to just put both hands on the wall. They have the right to remain silent. Anything they say will, and all right, sorry. So you're gonna go from here. We're gonna use this wall support just so we feel a little more support on everything. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna try to pick up one leg at a time as high as you can, right? So for some of you, you may be able to drive it all the way up there. For others, hey, you may only be able to get a little bit off the ground right now, and that's completely fine, right? So what we're looking for is for them to have abs locked in. We're getting long through our upper back up here, and you're gonna do a hard breath out every single time, right? So they'll be down, and then hard breath out, back up, right? You're already doing this at home, and you're like, wow, this is the strongest I've felt in years. And I'll say, yeah, you're welcome. If you want to get stronger, you come to Aion Training. All right. And then last one, I like this one a lot, just because, once again, it's pretty easy. You get a nice little side butt burn right there, and it really builds some strength in that outer hip. Is we're going to do what's called lateral walks, right? So if you have one of these mini bands, like these right here, you can get them on Amazon for about $5, like I said, or we have a bunch here. But they're going to just go ahead and pop those on right above their knees. And basically what this exercise is going to do is, once again, it's going to work on building stability in our hips and building strength in that outer hip / glute muscle, right? So the way they're going to do this, let me just make this play really quick, is they're just going to go slight bend in their knees, right? We always want to go just a little bit slight bend. We don't want to too much go legs locked out. So slight bend in their knees. They're going to keep feet shoulder width apart, and they're just going to go from there, wide step, shoulder width step, wide step, shoulder width step. So that whole time they're going through it, we're kind of thinking that I want to keep that distance between my knees that whole way through, and I want to keep constant tension in my abs and my butt the whole way, right? So we should always have tension, we should always be creating stability and strength, and they should be rocking it out from there, right? So just a little recap on it. For the test, we have the 10 sit-to-stands in 1 minute. We have to get off the floor in under 20 seconds, and then we have the toe touch halfway down that shin. Four exercises that you can do anywhere, at any time. We have the sit-to-stand, or the hold, we have the pickups, we have those wall marches, and we have the lateral walks, right? So for all of these, I recommend starting off super low, right? Just one round, 5 to 10 reps of each one, right? If we're doing the leg lifts, 5 to 10 on each side. If we're doing those lateral walks, same thing, 5 to 10 on each side. It doesn't take much for you to get started, right? The reason that a lot of people don't get started is because they don't really know where to go. They don't really feel safe to do it by themselves, and that all is completely fine and it makes sense, right? But, whoa, we just happen to be giving away a free week of personal training to anyone that responds to us from this video, right? So if you are interested in, like I said, building that strength, increasing your flexibility, and just feeling stronger overall, just email us at info@AionTraining. And let us know that you're coming here from home instead. And if you tell us that you're here from home instead from watching the video, we'll hook you up with a free week of personal training where you can come in and you might actually see these two superstars right here. Whoa, don't ask them for their autograph. They're busy. Now just playing, completely playing. They're all cool people. We try to keep one of the coolest people here. So I think we're doing a pretty good job at it. But I just want to say thank you all for coming in and watching our video. I really hope that you got some tips from it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. We are on Facebook at Aion Training, AION Training. You can message me any questions there. We'd love to help you out. My team would love to help you out. And we'll also give a thank you to Peggy Mike right there. You're probably clapping on the background. I know you are. I'll show them it later. Right? So, like I said, I just want to say a big thank you for Home and Stand for everything they do. And thanks for all our people who tuned in for this today. If you need any other tips, if you're looking for help for anything, like I said, either email us at info@Aion Training for that free week of personal training, or you can just shoot me a question on our Aion Facebook page as well. Besides that, hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Coach Marcus, out. Hey, what's up everybody? I hope you enjoyed the first part of this video. And if you have any questions on that, like I said, don't forget to message me at info@aiontraining.com. You can just send me an email on there. As well as if you have any follow-up questions, or if you're interested in taking us up on that free week of personal training, especially for our Home and Said viewers, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to jump into some of these Q&As that I have. Like I said, if you have extra questions, just shoot me an email, but I'll jump into some of the ones that were given, and I'll try to help out the best I can, right? Gives a little bit of my expertise on things. So how can you motivate a senior to work out when they are scared of moving or exercising, right? So one of the biggest things I see just in general is that there is a lot of fear around exercising, and it makes sense, right? Especially if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't feel confident in your body, it can be a very scary thing at the beginning, right? So the biggest thing you can kind of do is, hey, just like tell that person that, hey, I'm there to support you either way, whether you exercise or you don't exercise. I'm there to give you my support. And then you can just encourage them with like small things. Maybe you invite them to work out with you, or just kind of like talking to them, but you never want to be like very attacking or accusatory as you're trying to get people to do things. I always try to give people like a pull method instead of a push, right? Like I want to pull you into doing it instead of pushing it. So just kind of looking at ways that you can, invite them, encourage them, support them, and let them know that they do have your support. That's going to be a huge piece of everything. Are there any foods to help a senior gain muscle or maintain muscle mass? We actually wrote a book called Fat Loss After 40, which actually also dives into building a lot of muscle. So if you want a copy of that, just send me an email. But also, one of the biggest things is protein, right? Like the daily recommended intake that you kind of see on these boxes is so far off. It makes me so sad sometimes when I hear how much protein people are eating, right? Because protein is so important for building muscle, for maintaining bone mass and bone strength. And like so many people just aren't getting enough at all, right? So just make sure that, hey, like we're getting enough protein, right? Enough protein is going to be generally somewhere between, 0.8 to 1, probably 0.6 to 1 grams per pound of body weight. So whatever you weigh, multiply that by somewhere between 0.6 to 1, and you'll kind of find like your range of where you should be at with everything. What kind of stretches help someone that is bed or chair bound? So a lot of it's going to be like building strength, right? Like everyone says stretching, which is great. But for us, we like to give our clients mobility through strength, which basically means like the stronger we can get you, the more your body actually trusts yourself to be into these different ranges, right? Where it's like, hey, if I don't have any strength in my shoulder, my body does not feel safe giving it this extra flexibility, right? So once we actually build strength in our clients, you build strength in, from there, then you can actually start to really gain a lot of that flexibility. So for someone who's chair bound, it may be just grabbing a band, having them put it around their feet, doing small exercises from there, doing like some assisted sit to stands, or like some of the other exercises that we kind of showed before, right? But a lot of it's just going to be slowly building strength, and then strength will give you access to flexibility. How long have I been in Pasadena? I have lived in Pasadena for about 4 years now, and I love it. I like that it's not all like crazy busy like downtown LA. Like it doesn't take me 40 minutes to get a mile away. So I really enjoy that, but it's still close to everything. So Pasadena's been it's been pretty awesome. Any tips for clients with, or for seniors with cold shoulder? Cold shoulder is basically like a lack of mobility in the shoulder, or some people call it like frozen shoulder. And the biggest thing for that is gonna, once again, being like building strength. One of the things we do here is a lot of like joint focused mobility, which is basically things called like cars, where we take you and you just go as far as you can, drawing like a huge circle with that shoulder, going one way and then coming back that other way, just kind of like building strength and, restoring flexibility and mobility in that area. If it's really bad, what I would say is, hey, like go see a PT, get everything assessed, and then go from there, right? Like that's always gonna be the biggest thing is, hey, go get some help, go to a PT, get assessed somewhere, physical therapist. We have a great one that we're partnered with, Health Fit LA, absolutely awesome. But make sure you're just kind of like getting that help from there. Any lower back stretches that can help me out with back pain. Oh man, back pain, neck pain, knee pain. Those are the top 3 that we get here. For back pain, you can look up what's called cat camels. But what also happens is a lot of times it's not your back that's the issue, right? Like yes, sometimes we're not getting enough mobility in your back, but you want to look at 3 main things, right? The first one is, how am I breathing? If I'm doing a lot of neck breathing and I rise up like that, I'm not getting enough mobility and movement in my lower back, which causes tightness, which causes pain, right? The second one is, hey, like, do I have adequate mobility in my hips? If I'm not able to really move through my hips, my back ends up having to take on more than it should, which once again leads to a lot of pain, right? So you want to make sure that you're not really falling into that pain, because we want you to be loose, right? I tell my clients, we're gonna get you open like a hotel lobby. So that's the goal for 2022. If you need more help, like I said, just shoot me an email and I can actually send you over a couple stretches to do directly. What type of workouts can I do that are safe and easy to do at home? That's gonna vary just kind of based on where you are. And it's kind of tough to like prescribe that with not really knowing where you're at. Like I said, once again, that's one of the ones like, hey, shoot me an email, we can talk a little bit more and then maybe we can help you out from there. Okay, second half of these. Do you need weights to work out? Not at all, right? There's a misconception that you need weights, you need all these fancy toys and things like that. Working out is just an expression of movement, an expression of moving your body, right? So you don't need workouts at all. If you're doing nothing right now, I would 7,038% rather have you do some type of body weight exercises than continue to do nothing, right? Like when it comes to stress, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to how your body moves, it's going to be important for you to be doing some type of exercise and movement. Let's see. How much do you charge for your workout services? So we range anywhere. We have like 2 main programs. We have our one-on-one training, which is more for like our like clients that really need that like direct, like, I don't feel safe having them even in our other like semi-private group. For that one, it's anywhere from $166 to $175 an hour. But our other group, which is our semi-private, which is what most of our clients do and are safe to do, is where it's no more than 5 people per coach. So you're still getting a bunch of attention. People are watching every exercise you do to make sure you're safe. And that one's only $50 to $55 a session, right? So that's what most of our clients do. They get amazing results. They get strong. Mike and Peggy are both in our semi-private group and they're doing fine. You saw their toe touches, right? But like I said, if you want to try us out, see if we're a good fit for you, see if like everything works out, just shoot us a message on info@Aion Training. We'll hook you up with that free week trial. We can kind of see how everything goes from there. What kind of workouts can I use to help me lift clients? I'm a caregiver and I move my disabled clients around a lot. So this is actually another really important one for caregivers, for people that are taking care of their parents, for people that are just helping out with family members or friends. You also need to make sure that you're adequately strong to help out, so you're not getting hurt as well, right? That's another big piece of the whole equation. So, like, once again, it's kind of hard to give you direct workouts when I don't really know your background on things. I'm sorry about that. But, if you email me, like we said, we can talk about some things. But the biggest thing, if nothing else, like, just start, right? Like, I think there's too much indecision sometimes where people are like, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? When in reality, if you're doing not too much right now, anything is going to be the right thing. And if you do lift a lot, like lift your clients a lot, I would say like focus on a lot of like just core stability work, do a lot of like upper back work as well. And then you're gonna actually want to do a lot of legs, because a lot of that lifting should probably be coming from like your legs, your glutes, your hips, as opposed to primarily and only your upper body. Last few questions here. What type of stretches help get blood flow around the body? This is a good one that just goes back to any type of movement, right? So the biggest thing, if we want to make sure we're stimulating blood flow, if we're staying healthy, if we're keeping everything moving, you just want to be moving, right? We want to make sure that we're moving our head, our upper body, our lower body. If you're going for a walk, maybe you exaggerate some arm movement or something like that, right? But the biggest thing is just going to be general movement to kind of help you, like get that blood flowing and everything. And last two here, screen almost died. What type of workouts help the middle of the body and abs? My grandfather has a hard time using his upper body strength. So here's a huge misconception. I would say that core work as a means to get abs is extremely overrated. The reason that a lot of people 40 plus, 65 plus, etc., like don't really, have strong abs, it's just that there's a general muscle loss as you age. And if you're not doing some type of strength training, you're not really combating against that, right? Which leads to like things like sarcopenia, which is like the loss of muscle as you age, which leads to weakness, which leads to, like higher risk of injury. So the main thing is just gonna be like, just starting on some type of routine. Like that's gonna be my biggest thing, right? Like I know that you wanna dive deeper into things, but for a lot of people, it's just really starting off. And if you do email me, then we can kind of like get on a call. We can dive a little bit deeper into things, and I can help you out a little bit more there once I kind of know where people are at. I just always hate just saying like, hey, go do this thing. And I don't really know too much because I don't want anybody to ever get hurt, kind of following my advice from there. So last one, what type of workouts prevent muscle mass loss? It scares me seeing my clients so brittle and frail. And I agree, right? It's scary because I'm like, hey, like when I'm not watching them, when they're at home, like, are they truly safe? Are they truly independent? And this is where like strength training and resistance training are so big, especially for that 40 plus population. If you're like 19, 20, all right, cool. Like go be a cardio killer, do the treadmill and all that stuff, bikes. But if you are someone who is in that, in that older group, like it becomes increasingly important for you to be doing some type of strength training because that's going to make sure that we're not losing muscle. That's going to make sure that our joints are staying strong and healthy. And that's going to make sure that just overall we're in a better position safety-wise, right? So I would just start them off, hey, kind of see where they're at, right? Like we do an assessment first, kind of see where they're at as far as strength, and then slowly start to build into strengths, right? So if they don't, like I said, you don't need to use weight. So if you want to start off with body weight, see how they're doing there, add in like some lower body work, a little bit of squats, lunges, depending on where they're at. And then you can slowly progress up. You always want to start low and then progress slowly as that person grows, builds, and everything from there. So awesome. That was all the questions. Like I said, if you have any other questions, just make sure to email me at info@aiontraining.com. My name is Marcus McDuffie. So you can also email me if you want a secret one, Marcus@aiontraining.com. And then we can talk more from there. I can answer some more questions from there. And I can also hook you up with that free week trial at my favorite place. Wow, look at that. All right, peeps. Like I said, if you want more information, you can check us out at www.aiontraining.com. You can send us an email at info@aiontraining.com as well. Or you can give us a call at 626-382-7600. Awesome. Thank you so much for all of that. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.